I guess first off, I just wanted to say thanks to everyone for coming. I think it's a shame sometimes the things that have to happen for us to have these events and whatnot. Orlando, some of the other recent events. It's wonderful to see people come together like this, but I guess it's regrettable that it does take things like this for it to happen. I wanted today to talk about someone who is very important to me. For those of you who may or may not know me, I do a lot of activism, and when you do activism, you end up meeting a lot of people, and that means every year you know people who were hurt or died or whatever. Thankfully, I don't know enough people that I have a story like that every year about someone close to me. So the person I'm going to talk about briefly did not die this past year, but died in 2014. Her name was Karis. She was hugely influential to me, especially as a minor. She was the first trans woman I ever knew. She was fantastic. She worked as a teacher in the MPS system, working with individuals with barriers. And on top of it, she was possessed of a great many radical notions. So on top of being the first person like me that I ever had the good fortune of meeting, she was the first person who ever gave me permission to be a bit more radical in my political leanings and actually, push against some of the more conservative things that I had been raised to believe. In a little under 2 weeks, it'll actually be the 2-year anniversary of her suicide. Without going into it too much, in her note, she cited the main reason. She had family support, she had community support, she was one of the most important activists in southern Wisconsin. 10 years of hardcore abuse and degradation through her job by coworkers that she actually named in the letter drove her to that point. So I'm really glad that we're all here to talk about this today, but sometimes I worry that when we talk about unity, people walk away with the wrong idea. This isn't as much, we're in a time right now where, again, especially with some of the current events that have happened, we don't need to tell you, minority groups and oppressed individuals and whatnot are going to need everyone else to step up more, not less and not the same amount. When we talk about unity, that doesn't mean, being like, yes, we are one and let's play a Beatles song and, hold hands around a fire. It's about recognizing that there are individuals within our society, many individuals and many groups that are deliberately targeted. We are not all the same. That is not something we need to sweep under the rug. We can celebrate our differences, but part of celebrating our differences is recognizing that those differences are often not celebrated. I'm not the same as the vast majority of you out there, and I'm okay with that. But because of that, vast majority of you, if we're all going to make it through the next few years, the next few decades, or whatever, there's going to need to be people standing up because while we may all be one and the same and everything, we're not all treated the same. So I guess the one thing that I wanted people to walk away with tonight is that it is fantastic that you came here, and I'm so, so thankful. I can't even begin to describe how powerful it is to see so many people come out in support of unity, especially in what can sometimes be such a hostile, just kind of climate on the level of the entire country. But after you leave here, more will be required of you. Whether or not you rise to that is entirely up to you. But as someone who very well may potentially need each and every one of you, or I should say any of you and or potentially all of you at one point, to stand up for me, it is needed. And it's worth acknowledging that, we're going to have a lot of people talking here tonight, and I've lost a lot of people, but I'm more concerned with not losing any more. And we have to take very direct action in order to prevent that. So that's all I have to say. Thank you so much.